Hello, my name is M.K.Davis. I've been a student of the Patterson Bigfoot film for about 15 years now. I'd like maybe to take this opportunity to show you something you may not know about this film. And it's pretty interesting stuff. It's when you look at the film and just kind of follow through, it has the appearance of being a continuous piece of footage, but when you look at it closely and scrutinize it, you realize that there are some things to make you believe perhaps you're looking at two different films taken at two very different times and then put together. I'll show you why I think that. Let's first look at this early frame from the very earliest part of the film. Let's take a look. Now, this is where that pit is that I featured in the other videos, but take a look above the pit. You'll see the back end of a log jam. You'll see some debris and stuff sticking out. And then let's just kind of go into the film, let the film run a little bit, and we'll stop it again when you can see this log jam a little better. Now there's the pit with the red substance in it. You see the log. Now we're kind of shaking around a little bit, and there's a little better view right there of the log jam. Pay particular attention to the two objects beneath the two arrows, because we're going to get back to that later on in the second walk sequence. This next clip is going to show the first walk sequence as it ends, and then the scene change into the next walk sequence. So let's just take a look at it, and it's running at slow motion, just a frame. So just follow it along there, and you'll see that the filmer, the camera person, is down below the level of the Sasquatch and having a difficult time filming her. And then all of a sudden, they're in a different place on the sandbar, and they're back up on each other's level again. So let's take a look. There's the camera person down in below the level of the sandbar. And there's the scene change right there. Let's take a look at it again. The filmer is down below the level of the Sasquatch, filming up at her, and then all of a sudden, everything changes. But there's that log jam again. Let's take a good look at it. In the first walk sequence, that red hole was right beneath that log jam where you see those two arrows, and you'll see those same two features were right there. In the second walk sequence, when everything's back up on the level again, the red hole's gone. I've taken a series of still photos from the frame, and I put them together to form a panorama of the entire sandbar, so that you can appreciate what a compact area it was. But on the left side of this panorama, as we zoom in on it, I'll show it to you, is that same identical log jam, and the same features and everything that you saw in the first walk sequence. But things are very different now. In the second walk sequence, when everything is on level, there's been some changes, and it most certainly had to take some time to do this. Let's look at it. Okay, here's the panorama. Now look on the far left side, and you'll see that very same log jam with those same two features that were arrowed. And now we'll zoom in on it, and look beneath it where there should be the red hole. You see that red hole is not there. It's been filled in, smoothed over. There it is, the first walk sequence. There's the second walk sequence. See, it changes suddenly. There's a scene change, and that's where two films were put together. There's your features on the log jam that are recognizable in both walk sequences. And there's the first walk sequence there, and look at this, was taken from the original film. This is a transparency that I obtained from Patterson. There it is. There's that same log jam. See the features right there? First walk sequence, second walk sequence. The hole's missing. The hole is there. Hole's missing. Hole is there. Same log jam. There's the hole, first walk sequence, original film. Very clear. You know, the miracle of YouTube allows me to put this material on there at very nearly the same resolution as I see it, and it's become a remarkable tool for imparting information. And I'm betting that you see it as I see it, that it takes time to fill in a hole and smooth it over. And this is only about a little less than a minute of film. And I'm sure that this did not occur during that minute. It's two films, two different events portrayed as one event. That has a lot of implications. Not that it's not a real Sasquatch or anything like that, or the film is a hoax. No, not at all. But it's edited, and it's edited for really good reasons. In this second walk sequence, the Patterson subject walks right in front of that log jam, right across that dark strip, which is wet sand. And when she does, and then she sticks her foot back toward the camera, you can see something there that may give you an indication of what that sand is wet with. So let me just show you that. This is one of those frames that I got from Patricia Patterson. And you can see it's a pretty good, decent quality. And when it sticks that foot straight back at the camera, you're able to pick up some things on it. And with enhancements, you tell a little more about it. And remember, she just walked over that wet stuff. So what is that on the heel there? Remember the red hole with the red material. Yeah. And you might even make an argument for the mid-tarsal break with this, since the middle didn't touch. Red hole, and then the same spot with no red hole, but the wet streak going across the sand there that Patty walks across in the second walk sequence. And then you got red stuff on the bottom of her foot. Well, that's what happens when you're filming a live event. I could go on and on with the story. When you get as deeply involved as I have been, and you realize that you're dealing with real things, real people, real situations. Mrs. Patterson, has been run roughshod over by numerous people in this field. And, you got the impression from listening to her talk that she deeply misses her husband. And she needs him. It doesn't need to be M.K.Davis. It needs to be, Roger Patterson talking to you. And I'm confident that had this man not passed away prematurely, that it would have never gotten as far as it's gotten now. That he would have stepped in. No one made any attacks on this film or efforts to wrangle rights from Mrs. Patterson, for $10 until he passed away. So I'll do everything I can to help her any way I can, but I'm not any kind of a substitute for him. When you lose a loved one, that someone leaves this planet way too early, you just kind of unprepared. And she's done pretty well. She's done okay. She's handled herself pretty good, but she's been taken advantage of more than once. So what you're seeing here is something that's important to all of us. And the film that her husband took, or it bears his name. is his legacy, and it's what he left her. And my legacy, I hope, is a clearer, more stable film to look at and a little better understanding of what you're looking at. Anyway, I thank you for your time.